Well, I guess it wasn't going to be opening day unless we closed out the night after many went to bed. But who was up? The Pirates to hit their parlay. And let me tell you something. We were a crossbar away from 2 points for Teravainen and 2 points for Bedard.
The stick of Teravainen, swept that by Bertuzzi. That hit the post.
It could have been one hell of a night, but we still found the beauty of both worlds. The most Dan of Dan picks you've ever seen in your life. Intro to betting, I'll take the Stanley Cup champions defending the cup, raising the banners on their own home ice 60 minutes. And then we will take a 2 points for Schmaltz, 2 points for Connor Bedard, plus 1050 same game parlay. That actually beautifully encompasses what this channel is about.
Winning's winning.
We hit a Megaladan bet with the Panthers, and then we hit a Pirate parlay to end the night. Pretty good opening night, pretty entertaining opening night, if you ask me. You know, the only thing chalkier than taking the defending Cup champs to win in 60 minutes at home would be to take the Stanley Cup runner-up to win on their own home ice in 60 minutes, which is what I'm going to find myself doing today. And I'm not just doing it because, it worked out night one, so it's going to work night two. This is as Dan as it gets. I am back-to-back reservations at Le Dan, Lesdan, with one of those accents on top restaurant. I'm going there on back-to-back nights. And while, yes, some of it has to do with the Oilers, really, I just can't get that disgusting Winnipeg playoff performance out of my head. I think that Colorado, who I'll get to in a couple of minutes, shattered that defensive cloak of invincibility where it was like, nobody can score more than 2 goals on this team. Every single time you play them in Winnipeg, they get held to 2 or fewer. And Colorado just blew the doors off them every single game. They got them so bad that I'm still feeling it. I can only imagine in that locker room, which is why with an offensive team like the Oilers, I kind of like them to start this quest as the Stanley Cup favorites. One thing that I always know is that when you have a great power play, as I mentioned yesterday, it gives you the inside track when you're returning all 5 members. And although they've added Skinner and they've added Arvidsson, that top 5 power play unit is still going to be exactly the same. Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Bouchard, McDavid, Draisaitl. I bet you they'll be in mid-season form by mid-game, which is why I'm going to go with the Edmonton Oilers in 60 minutes. And also, I got to do it. This guy, he has a special place in many hockey fans' heart. But for me, I look at everybody mostly the same. But after what he did for me, what he did for us, I have to go back to Connor McDavid over 1.5 points in this home opener. The price isn't going to get much better from here. It's night one, and we're looking at minus 125. It's not going to get much better than here, unless Connor McDavid has some weird once-in-a-lifetime struggle. So we got that motivated McDavid home opener against that Winnipeg team who just left an awful defensive taste in my mouth. I have to go back to Connor McDavid over 1.5 points. That's right, we're talking about Canadian teams tonight. I know I have a lot of you Canucks who watch a cannoli-eating guy from the tri-state area give you your hockey picks. There's nothing I enjoy more than that. And the further north you are in Canada, the more I laugh knowing there's a bakery a mere minutes away from me that have better cannoli. Do you even know what a cannoli is? I'll never forget when I was in Anaheim, and I went into something that could be considered a deli. Apparently, some people don't even know what a deli is now. And I said, "Yeah, you have any chicken cutlets here?" A guy behind the deli counter goes, "Chicken cutlets?" And this is when I was younger, and I know you think I got a lot of zest now, but I almost choked and had to leave. I'm like, yes, chicken cutlets. Have you ever heard of chicken parm? Well, what do you think if you remove the sauce and you remove the cheese? What's left? Cutlets. Anyway, what the hell was this in reference to? Oh, Canadians north of the border. The further north you are, the more funny I find it that you're watching a cannoli eater from the tri-state area and getting your hockey sniffs from him. You woke up at 4 a.m. and you played in the backyard pond. You look in your backyard and it was completely frozen. Me? I was at the San Gennaro feast with Paulie Walnuts. Anyway, let's go to another Canadian game between the Habs and the Leafs. Do they play opening night every single year? Do they open against each other? It's 15 years now. It's unbelievable that these two teams keep playing. And one way or another, I don't know how, but these damn Canadians either weasel out wins or they lose by one. And I'm not going in that direction, all right? I just gave you a 60-minute line yesterday. I just gave you a 60-minute line right there. I wouldn't take Toronto, I'll tell you that. But what I am going to do on the Canadian side, I'm taking their two head honchos, Cole Caufield and Nick Suzuki. It's early in the season. I found them for plus 115, both to get a point. These are not parlays. They're only in parlays because that's what they happen to be named when you click two things. I'm not asking for two separate things to happen. I'm asking for one guy and another guy on the same line to have a goal go in. I like both of them for a point in a home opener. You'd imagine, I saw their team total is 2.5. I like the over on that. But give me Suzuki and Cole Caufield for a point each, plus 115 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I just mentioned those Avalanche who stormed right through Winnipeg. This isn't an Avalanche team that did that, though. This is a Nichushkin-less, Lekanen-less, still Landeskog-less. This is a barren one-line Colorado team heading to Vegas, who also has had some stripped players from them. And by golly, I'm tempted to do it again. I want to take the Vegas Golden Knights at home 60-minute line. Andy, now you're getting crazy. The money line's minus 110. Just give us that. No, because if it goes to overtime, I want no part of dealing with Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar in a 3-on-3 situation. So either I want Vegas to win this one, or I'll just take my loss. Or you can do the tie no bet, meaning if Vegas doesn't win it in regulation, you just get your... Yeah, how about we do that? Give me the Vegas Golden Knights, tie no bet. I want no part of overtime. And then I'll do them in 60 minutes as well. And the reason I bring them up is because in the NFL, I gave you my flag plant player of the year. It was James Cook, and he's already hit his over on 3.5 touchdowns. His season-long touchdown prop has already been hit. Well, I have a flag plant player in the NHL, and that is Jack Eichel. I am going with Jack Eichel to look, I'm not talking about he's challenging McKinnon and McDavid for the Art Ross. I'm talking about a bump in production from great to Tony the Tiger great type of level. I think with the departure of Stevenson and Marchessault, there's a lot of offensive production that needs to be filled, and that's going to have to be Eichel. Eichel's going to have to step up his role, which he's done. He's a couple years off that back surgery now. You should be getting a fully healthy Eichel who's going to have to shoulder a bigger burden here. They had so many talented players on that team, but salary cap the way it works, well, with them, I'm surprised they didn't find a way to keep everybody. They already pulled that Robin Leonard scam. Go look that one up. And I think he's going to have to do more, especially on the power play. He's going to have to be shooting more. Like you take Marchessault off there. They lost a lot of pieces from that Cup team now in these last couple of years. And I think it's on Eichel to shoulder the load. And I'm going to go with his over 1.5 points. I saw 145, 150, 170 on Bet Rivers and Ballybet. They're really trying to pull me over there for hockey. They showed me the plus money on the Panthers. They showed me the plus 100 on Edmonton. And by golly, there's another bet that I like on there. Now, the thing about Bet Rivers, Ballybet, Unibet, that whole series, as I told you yesterday, every single sports book offers different types of bets. Draftkings, you can't even take a 60-minute line and combine it with a player prop. but you can on Ballybet Bet Rivers. And that's what I'm going to do in this game, because this just comes from my own interpretation and watching at the end of last season post-trade deadline when Gensel was moved out, and they brought in Michael Bunting, the second line that consisted of Rakell, Evgeny Malkin, and Michael Bunting. It was extremely impressive to me. They had great chemistry, and they made a playoff push despite trading away Gensel, and a lot of that was on the back of that second line. I was pleased to see that the Penguins saw the same thing that I did. They left that line together, and I'm seeing Malkin and Rakell on that top power play. So I looked around. I wanted to take Malkin and Rakell both for a point. Oh my God, I can't find it here. It's not on Bet365. It's not on Fanduel. It's not. Maybe they'll add it, but it's not there right now. So what I did, Bet Rivers and Ballybet, they offer a couple extra players. They offer a few random players that the other sports books don't offer. I don't know why, but I'm happy that they do, because I saw Rakell. This is a pure Andy Sniff. Nobody's probably going to tell you about this one. But the reason I like Rakell, he's on that top power play, and he had great chemistry with Malkin and Bunting toward the end of the year. And if you're thinking right now, but Andy, okay, so why don't I take Bunting and Malkin? I can take both of them on Draftkings. Bunting isn't on the top power play, and we need to maximize our chance of hitting the bet in one play. So unfortunately, I can only take Rakell on Bet Rivers and Ballybet. But the good thing about that site is you can combine that over on half of a point for Rakell with another bet that I like from this game, the Pittsburgh Penguins over 2.5 goals. It's their home opener. Igor Shesterkin, as I mentioned yesterday, he didn't find that lockdown form until that wasn't even midseason, it was late season. There's a reason it's called midseason form, because you arrive there around midseason. Game 1, you can catch goal. You see Bobrovsky, he let in 1 over here, 2 over here. I don't know what's going on. And I'm thinking for a home opener, these Penguins, who still have some talented players here, I mean, they still have Crosby's line. That second line, like I told you, was doing well. I think they should be able to score 3 goals. At least I'm hoping they do. So give me the point for Rakell, and then the over 2.5 goals for Pittsburgh with the point for Rakell. I never give out goal scorers and touchdown scores. I really think they are mostly donkey plays. But then again, I gave Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown. And because these other websites, they don't have Rakell listed for a point, let's do it. We can go Evgeny Malkin for a point, Rakell to score a goal. I'm not taking it by itself, because if I'm taking a goal scorer, you bet your ass I'm taking one of his line mates. I'm not taking up. I almost need to see plus 600 minimum if I'm taking a goal scorer, and that's exactly what you can get if you take Malkin, his line mate and power play line mate, with Rakell for a point against the New York Rangers. And that is what I have for you here on a Wednesday. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. You know the deal. Make sure you're subscribed here. Tell people about the show. Get that good sports betting karma going by doing the things I ask for. And what are the things I ask for? Just like the video, comment on the video, and just start a conversation. We're starting a new thing where I give a topic and you talk about it down in the comments. Unfortunately, I didn't think of one today, but now I just thought of one right now. Okay. I want you to comment. Yesterday I talked about, tell me a Christmas gift you got screwed on. Now I want to know, of that 3 popcorn barrel that you usually see around Christmas. I actually haven't seen it in 10 years. Do they still make those things? It's a popcorn barrel that you see around the holidays. One side is borderline standard. One is like extra white cheesy. And then the other is caramel covered, like Cracker Jack style. Which is the first part of the bin that you stick your hand in? And then what is the last one that you always see full because 2 have been emptied out and there's a clear loser? There's a clear yellow starburst of the bunch. And don't you dare tell me you're a yellow starburst guy. You may as well be a Back to the Future 3 guy at that point. All right, that's what I have for you. I obviously will update the picks and issue out some extra same-game parlays based on any information that comes out throughout the day. You never know when there's a lineup change and this guy's in, this guy's out. So I will put those on the Patreon like I always do. It's patreon.com/Andy Francess. Hopefully I see you there. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for Thursday Night Football and Thursday NHL Sniffs. And guess what? There's going to be one video talking about them, but I'm not just going to sit here, make a video, and then go dink. Hey, it's Andy. How are you? I just talked to you 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to group them together into one video. I'm sure you'll enjoy that one. Take it easy. I will talk to you then.